You to all the folks here at the radio station for providing this opportunity. I'm going to talk about what I think the most important issues are for our state. First of all, I think our fiscal problems have to be solved in a rational manner. I don't think we can cut our way out of it, and I don't see how we can avoid some kind of tax increase, although there will be a tremendous amount of debate over that. And as I said earlier, I think workforce development is the most important thing. Our population's getting older, and our pool of qualified people is shrinking. And one thing that exacerbates that problem is the drug problem. If if you get people by all the other qualifications, and then when they're drug tested, they test positive and can't be hired. And I think that somehow we've got to get a handle on the drug problem, because I think that crosses all the problems we have. I think maybe the biggest cultural issue is the dysfunctional family. We have an issue that we can't write a statute to solve, but somehow we've got to enforce the family unit and get children back in a normal household, that they don't grow up seeing the drug issues that we have every place. I think healthcare cost is going to be an issue in the future. I think that survival of rural healthcare, rural hospitals, is a real serious issue, and I think we've got to watch that very carefully. I'm chair of the board of Davis Health Systems, and I think that that maybe is the most important resource we have in the community as our population gets older. And I think that the Medicaid issues that we're going to have, and the funds that are required to satisfy those may complicate the budget in the future. Again, I say that I think in particularly Randolph and Pocahontas County, and like I said, if you include Tucker County, we have all the major tourist attractions in the state, and I think that we have to form some kind of a regional association that we take advantage of that arts and tourism and the travel issues that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Eisner, go ahead.
Folks, West Virginia can do better. There's no other way to put it. If you're satisfied with the status quo and you're satisfied with how things have been, then keep sending the same politicians back and expect the same results. Every day I see a new study where West Virginia ranks 48, 49, and 50 in all of the good categories and ranks 1, 2, and 3 in all of the bad categories. You heard me talk in response to an earlier question about us ranking 51 out of 51 in the best places to teach. I think that education remains a cornerstone and a key component of my campaign. I think it's an area that has to be fixed, it has to be improved upon, and we have to improve that statistic. We have to do it if we want to keep our young people here. And I appreciate all the comments that have been made about tourism tonight. Tourism is certainly a wonderful industry in West Virginia, and I'm happy for all the folks that can come here and spend their money to see our natural beauty. But I want to keep our young people here. And we have to find a way to do that. I think it starts with education, as I said. I think a focus on vocational education is necessary. I think we need to stop teaching young people in as early as grade school that you're not a good person or that you're not good enough if you don't go to college, because it's simply not true. There are plenty of great jobs out there to be had that folks could obtain through vocational education without coming out with monstrous student debt. As I close out my 30s and rapidly approach 40, I have a number of friends who are trying to pay off college student loan debt from a business degree or a psychology degree or something that they obtained, meanwhile, working at Walmart or working in a telemarketing call center. They could have invested that same amount of time if we taught them during high school a skill. If we taught them to be an electrician, if we taught them to be a carpenter, if we taught them to be a mechanic. You know, my plumber makes more money than I do, I think, and he doesn't have the mountain of student loan debt that I do. So we need to start at a very early age. We need to start with education, and we need to try to fix the infrastructure problems I identified earlier so that young people will stay in our state. If we don't keep our own young people, it doesn't matter how many people we have coming in to take pictures.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kyle.
As a lifelong resident of West Virginia and Randolph County, I feel extremely blessed. I believe those that are blessed with time and talent should give back to their community. As a fourth-generation farmer in Randolph County, my father instilled work ethic and values in me. And as your voice in Charleston, I will go down there and serve you with honor and integrity. I won't always have the right answer, but I'll do my best to make our community and our district and our state a better place to live. I'm highly qualified to do this job, and I believe that the need now is greater than it's ever been for our state to have new, strong leadership with some new solutions and some reasonable ideas to the problems that we have. We need to grow our economy. We need to fix the education system and funding. The drug crisis is a cancer to our youth that we must aggressively address. And I believe that all these things with strong leadership and reasonable new ideas and solutions can be solved, and our state can be a better place to live and grow. As I said, I'm extremely optimistic about all the resources that we have, tourism and agriculture, and just citizens with a strong work ethic and values in our state. We can do better, as Phil said, and I firmly believe that. I look forward to your support on May 10th, and thank you for listening tonight in the audience.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Moore.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for listening this evening, and I want to thank the radio station for this forum that they've put on this evening. Also, I'd like to thank the candidates to my right here, Jonathan Kyle, Mr. Phil Eisner, and Mr. Bill Hartman for being here so that I could hear and understand their concerns. Listen, folks, this all comes down to you've got 4 candidates sitting here this evening and a 5th that is not, well, actually a 6th that are not here this evening with us. And we're not here fighting amongst one another about the issues. We understand that there's issues that need fixed. I myself see this position and this job through the eyes of a retail salesman. Again, if we do not have what the state of West Virginia wants, then they're going to go elsewhere. So just like Phil had said earlier, we do need to work on the infrastructure. We need to get Quarter H finished so that we can gain more employment that way through manufacturing jobs and different things of that nature. One thing, though, that I would disagree with Mr. Hartman this evening was the fact that he said that there's not enough manpower or trained individuals in the state of West Virginia. That, for certain, is not true. There's plenty of manpower. It's just the fact that we've got to get the people to train these individuals so that they can get out there and gain these jobs. Instead of leaving our prisoners sit in the Huttonsville Correctional Center over here, get them out doing something. I mean, instead of just paying tax money for them to sit there, get them back out and make them work again. I know it may sound cruel, but when they got arrested for the crimes that they committed, then they lost every right that they had. And I truly believe that. And I know that my party probably is going to wring my neck, for saying something like that. But I definitely agree that our educational system does need overhauled. A lot of folks out there, I'm sure, can relate to the fact that this Common Core thing is a disaster, and we need to completely repeal that and get that gone, because a lot of the parents now may not have a high school education. They may just have a GED. They may not even have a GED. And so their child is coming home with this homework that they can't even figure out, that it takes a college-educated person to understand, and sometimes I can't even understand. And I never got a chuckle there, but that was supposed to be a little funny. But anyway, I can't even understand it. So let's get back to the basics. Let's take a step back, look things over, and let's start off by getting those trained courses to where people can go in and get jobs with pipelines and different things of that nature. Let's get back to the hands-on training, and let's fix the education, and let's make West Virginia a better state in the near future. I would greatly like your support on May the 10th. Thank you.